Okay. Okay, let's see if this like works better. I think so. Hey, hey, how's it going, everybody? How's it going? All right, we're back. We're back. I have no idea what's going on with my lives lately, but I think TikTok hates me. I think that's exactly what it is. I think TikTok hates me. like I like low key think I just think TikTok hates me. I think that's what it is. I was like, what is going on? Well, no, like it disabled my chat. Like, hey, Lynn, that's what it is. Well, so I was talking to you guys, and all of a sudden, like, my chat is disabled, and I get this notification that it says comments disabled. And so I kept trying to like fix my comments, and I was just like, what is happening? Like, because like throughout the whole time I'm talking to you guys, and like I'm telling you guys about, so like the whole time I'm talking to you guys, I kept getting this notification that the comments are disabled. And so I'm trying to go in and fix the comments, and I can't. And I was like, well, what the heck is happening? Like, why are my comments disabled? And like, I have no idea, but like, I feel like I talk about this all the time and how my comments are moderated on everything, but it's fine. Okay. We can start back. It's totally fine. We're gonna start back with our conversation because I feel like we were in such a good place. That's all right, because at least like my folks are back on here. So thank you guys for sticking with me on this one through all the technical craziness and everything with TikTok. So I appreciate you guys. If anybody new is on here, my name is Channing. I'm a journalist, former news anchor, and I do these live news updates Monday through Friday, usually starting around 9-ish, but I had some technical difficulties, so I had to jump off and jump back on. So right now we are talking about the latest with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. So if you were with me just a few minutes ago, I'm sorry. I'm doing a little refresh real quick. I'm doing a little refresh. So just to restart, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, of course, is the man who was living in Maryland. Now, he is not a U.S. citizen. However, he is a citizen of El Salvador, but he was living in the United States under a legal protected status and is married to a U.S. citizen, right? So he is one of the people who was deported and taken to El Salvador, to that El Salvadoran prison on one of those planes pretty recently. Now, here's where some of the contention comes in, is because he was here under a legal protected status and he actually was not supposed to be deported specifically to El Salvador. Now, the Trump administration has even come out and admitted that he was deported under an administrative error. However, the Trump administration says that, well, he was a member of a gang called MS-13. However, however, Kilmar Abrego Garcia and his attorneys are saying that's not true at all. They're saying that he's not a member of that gang, that he has no criminal record whatsoever, and that, you know, he was just kind of railroaded into this deportation. So now there has been a lot of infighting in regards to what is going to happen next, right? So this is where we are right now. So now, a judge, district court judge, Paula Zinnes, has ordered the Trump administration to, one, give status updates on Kilmar Abrego Garcia in regards to how he is doing. So now the State Department did give her a status update and say that he is, one, alive and secure. That was last week. Since then, she has asked for more status updates. And asked for the Trump administration to try and bring him back. The Supreme Court has also stepped in and said, hey, you have to try and facilitate his return. The Trump administration is essentially saying, no, we're not, and we cannot. That we will not and we cannot. The president of El Salvador was in the United States this week and has essentially said the same thing, that he cannot and he will not, and essentially said a statement saying that releasing him will be like releasing a terrorist into the country. Now, fast forward to yesterday, Senator from Maryland, Chris Van Hollen, actually went to El Salvador to visit and to try and see for himself how Kilmar Abrego Garcia is doing, and was able to see Kilmar Abrego Garcia for himself and saw that he is alive and in that prison. Can't really say alive and well, because if you know anything about that prison, if you've seen any of the images, well, then you know nobody is well in that prison. Like, listen, you go there, yeah, you're not well. Like, it's not an American prison whatsoever. It just is. So yes. Let me see what you guys are saying. One of those planes that the Trump administration was told to turn around, and he did it. Arturo, yes. And I will get to that, because yes. MS-13 gang member and wife abused from him. So let me get to that comment. So recent reports did come out. The Department of Homeland Security actually released some documents showing that, yes, his wife actually filed a protective order against him back in 2021. Yes, filed a protective order petition against him, saying that he had physically attacked her on several different occasions. However, she released a statement 2 days ago saying that even though she filed this order, she did not follow through with the court process at the time, and that they were able to work through the situation privately as a family. So then technically it doesn't go in as any type of criminal record or anything like that, even though she filed a protective order. But yes, these things do tend to happen quite often in domestic violence disputes. It happens more often than not when a victim will come forward and then decide not to actually follow through with the actual criminal proceedings or anything like that. Happens all the time, actually. She also says in that same statement, she maintained that he is not a member of that gang and that he is a good and loving husband and father and all of these kinds of things. So essentially that is where we stand right now. And we're at a bit of an impasse with the Trump administration saying that, hey, we are not going to do these things. We're not going to facilitate bringing this man home. And with judges, like I mentioned, Judge Paula Zenas, who is the district court judge, essentially presiding over this, saying that, hey, you have to facilitate bringing him home. And that's essentially where we are. That's essentially it in a nutshell. It really is. It really is. That's really where we are. So now on the flip side of it though, and so here, this reason why this I think is still kind of a story is because there's also another caveat to that. So there's another judge, Judge Boasberg, who's over here, right? There's another case, and this is in regards to all the deportations that are happening. He is actually ruling in regards to all of the deportations, because remember when all of the planes left and there was a judge who ruled that the Trump administration had to turn those planes around, and the Trump administration was like, oh, we didn't get the order in time, we just gonna keep going, right? Or we're already in another country's airspace, blah 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 blah. So this judge is now ruling on that. And so this judge has now recently said that he had probable cause to hold someone from the Trump administration in contempt. Now, not that they are holding someone in contempt, but they have probable cause to hold someone. Now, they didn't name who or which people that they would potentially hold in contempt, but that they'd have probable cause. Essentially what they're doing is giving the Trump administration time to fix this. Essentially what they're saying too is that they would like due process to play out, and that they want more proof that the people that they sent to this prison are indeed the criminals that they say they are. They just want pretty much the Trump administration to prove what they're saying. And so that these are the two things that are currently playing out right now in the court system. And essentially right now the Trump administration is like, nah. And they're like, we might do it, we might not. And so there is a lot of infighting, and it's also because there's a lot of, because of the way the balance of powers works, Trump kind of has to do what they say, but he also kind of doesn't. And there's like a lot of overlap in regards to who really has the final say so in this one. And also because, well, they're already in another country. And in regards to how much power we have over what another country can say and do. I mean, there's just a lot of like legal loopholes that I think really nobody really knows, because, well, we just don't really know. I think we're all kind of learning as it's playing out, really. I really think so. I think that's exactly what is kind of happening here. Ooh, chat's really blowing up. Let's see what y'all are all saying. Let's see. Boasberg is crooked Democrats bought and paid for. Look at the history of some of these judges. It's obvious what they're doing is for the wrong reasons. Oh, now listen. Now you can go down the history of like a bunch of judges. Now I'm always on that side for sure. Did you hear TikTok is going away Sunday? Is it? Where else can we see you? Oh no, TikTok's not going away Sunday. Why would TikTok be going away Sunday? The latest though, they're like TikTok. Trump gave TikTok, what is it, a 90-day extension? When it was supposed to go away, what is that, 2 weeks ago? So no, TikTok is fine for now. If anything, now it's just like home shopping network for the new millennium. Like, I think they're fine for now. But no, if you want to, like, I'm actually, even like right now, so I'm streaming on YouTube. You can find me at The Channing Curtis on YouTube, on Twitch at, I think I'm Coffee Chat with Chan, Instagram, Channing Curtis, so all over the place. Then the Supreme Court ruled that district judges can't compel the executive branch to do anything. Yeah, so there's a lot. Lost in translation, how can the court enforce something like that? Yes. Oh, wait, so lost in translation. So yeah, I've seen that China is going to pull it. I've seen the rumor of that, but here's the thing. I haven't seen anything with them officially saying that. All I've seen are like rumors. I haven't seen that anything actual substantial saying that. But we'll see. Like, I'll be honest, like I don't I will say this though, in regards to even like those rumors, to be fair, ByteDance never said that they were going to sell in the first place. Up until like that last deadline was the first time that they ever said that they were interested in selling. And honestly, I think this one is just one of those, another one of those propaganda tools. Kind of, to me, it's kind of like all those Chinese manufacturers suddenly showing up on everybody's pages talking about how they manufacture every luxury brand in China just to get people to like all of a sudden get Americans on the side of China in the middle of this tariff war. It sounds like the same thing to me, that all of a sudden there are rumors that China's going to take away TikTok. It just sounds like Chinese propaganda to me. Like, I have a news reporter vibe. I would hope so after the thousands of dollars I spent at school to be a news reporter. So thank you. No, I was a news reporter. I'm a journalist. I've been in journalism for like 15, 16 years, something like that. So yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm sorry, let me see. Just like the rumors of Elon paying for lots of commercials during the Super Bowl. Yes, Gina, absolutely. Remember that rumor too? I forgot about that one. Yes, they were saying that Elon was going to pay all this money to expose all of this stuff during the Super Bowl, and everybody was looking for it, and yeah, it never happened. I was waiting. I'm still mad about that. I'm still mad I got played on that one. I was trying to see, somebody had a good comment. Wait, where did that one go? Oh, how can the court enforce something like that? Lost in translation. I wanted to get to what you said there. Oh yeah, how can the court enforce something like that? Were you talking about with the Kilmer Abrego Garcia? Is that what you were talking about? I think that's what you were talking about. I can't. I see there's a lot of new people joining, and I just want to say real quickly, hi, my name is Channing. I am a journalist, former news anchor, and I do these live morning news updates that are really more like conversations. So I just present to you the information, and we just have a conversation about it. We like to discuss, we really like to disagree, but we just keep it respectful. And that's what the important thing is. Oh, dude, thank you so much for the follow, friend. Maritza, thank you for sharing the live. Thank you. Oh, so lost in translation. Yes, you were asking about how the courts can rule on something like that. I have the exact same question. So if you're just joining, we were talking about the situation with Kilmer Abrego Garcia, the man who was who's been making headlines for being one of the deportees taken to that El Salvadoran prison that has made a lot of headlines, of course, in regards to how he was being deported and in regards to a lot of the allegations as to whether or not he's actually a member of this gang and whether or not he should or should not have been deported. Now, I do want to make one thing clear, that even the Trump administration did admit that he was deported and it was an administrative error. They did come out and say that. However, they do maintain that he was is a member of MS-13. However, Kilmar Abrego Garcia and his camp says that's not true. So there are two opposing ideologies on this, right? Evelyn, thank you for the follow. TL Rose, thank you for the follow in the roses. Thank you so much. So that's essentially what we're talking about here. However, Lost in Translation was just saying, how can the courts rule on something like this in regards to, well, a person, especially, or these people who are in another country? I have a similar thought. I was asking the same thing. Carter, thank you for the follow. I was wondering the same thing, and that's why I found it very interesting when the president of El Salvador was here in the United States and just flat out said, like, I'm not going to release him and I can't release him. I thought the can't release him was very, very interesting. The I'm not going to was the telling thing for me. I expected him to say that he wasn't going to. Like, everything in me, like, I've seen, since he was elected president, I've seen a lot of coverage on this man, and everything in me was like, oh, that man's not letting him go. I don't care what the United States said. Like, I just felt that in me. Like, he just, like, on how he ran, like, his personality type, things of that nature. Indy, thank you for sharing. Thank you so much, friend. Like, does the court have a secret enforcement team? Like, seriously, and I'm not being funny. Like, the error wasn't the deportation, it was where he was deported to. Well, no, like, when they said it in the way they said it, even in the press conference, like, they said it was an administrative error. Like, and how, like, because I have the clip and I can send it to you. Like, I even did the video. They even had said, like, it was like a verbatim, the mistake you're talking about is an administrative error. Like, even saying, like, how we did it, like, granted error, right? And that's totally fine. However, like, I don't, and that's my thing. I don't know how courts, and that's always been my issue, I think, with this as well, is I'm not quite seeing how courts can do that. Like, how they can, I don't know, like, how it's possible for, I don't know, for them to be able to enforce anything like this. And maybe that's just me. I don't know. I especially, like, within another country. And I understand that, obviously, that we have an agreement with El Salvador. We're paying them, what is it, $6 million in order to house people there in this prison. But again, I still do not see how our court system is able to enforce something in another country. Again, I'm not a legal expert. And that's why I'm not a legal expert. So if somebody is, knows more, please feel free to enlighten me. Because, like, to me, like, it just, I don't get it. I don't understand it either. Like, it doesn't quite make sense to me. So yeah, I personally would like to know. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Oh, thank you guys for all the likes. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for all the follows, guys. I appreciate it so much. All right, let's see. There's a lot of other news. I have so much to talk about today. Jeez. Let's see. We talked about the latest with Florida State. I'll get back to that one here in just a little bit. I did want to mention, too, with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, another thing that has a lot of people up in arms is the fact that Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen actually went to El Salvador yesterday to meet with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and he is actually he's pushing for his release. He shared a photo of the meeting on X. He didn't really provide any, like, updates or anything like that on the situation. However, like, he did go there to meet with Kilmar. He shared a photo of the two men talking in what appeared to be a restaurant, which is weird to me because everything that I'd ever heard and learned about this prison was that they don't have access to anything. So now I was just like, how is this possible? He didn't say anything about how the meeting was arranged, where they met, or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know. But the president of El Salvador also posted images of the meeting and saying that now that he's been confirmed healthy, he gets the honor of staying in El Salvador's custody. So yeah, and but like I said, like it felt very weird to me. Like I said, the image that Van Hollen shared is what felt weird to me more than anything. Because like I said, I've watched a lot of different videos, and even CNN and has done several different series on the specific prison. And I've watched a lot of their coverage on it. And there's another outlet out of South America that I've watched their coverage, and I'm blanking on the name of it right now. And everything that I've seen on this particular prison negates essentially what was shown in this photo. So I was just like, how did y'all get this kind of special permission to do this kind of thing? So I don't know. It just felt weird to me. I don't know. I couldn't tell you how it feels weird, or like I can't put it really into words, but it just, yeah, like, yes, it was the dressing him up and like I don't know, like, yeah, it just, I don't like it. Let's see what you guys are saying. His image is being hurt by our criticism of his death prison. Oh, okay. Yeah. It looked and it felt staged. Maybe, and that's what it is. I think that's what it is. It just felt very staged. And that's the way it kind of felt to me. And it was something about it that felt very off. And I understand that as a journalist, I know I am a cynic, and I try my best not to be. You know, like, and maybe that was it. Like, and maybe that was it. Like, it felt strange. It felt off. And I don't know if you guys have seen the photo. I'm gonna do a video on this one later for YouTube and for TikTok. And I'm gonna share the photo with you guys. I'll pull it from his X page, but it's something about the photo. It just doesn't feel right to me. Like I said, like, it looks like they're sitting in like a restaurant or something like that. And yeah, it just, I don't know. Like, it's just something about it where I was like, where the heck are you guys? And it completely looks different than everything else I've seen about this prison. Cause like I said, I've watched tons of footage on this prison specifically, and like, nobody else in this prison looks like this. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody else is dressed like this. Like, it's completely different. So I don't know. And Argento, yeah, I want to see his face. Like, so you can see his face in the photo, but not, I don't know. I'm going to show you guys, like I said, I'll do the video, and like, you guys can tell me what you think. But it felt very, very staged to me. It felt like, I don't know, because I've covered a lot of like, of these, like, pressers with like congressmen and women over the years. And they give you these very kind of, staged moments where they want to meet you in a very nice background, and like, it's just very performative, every single thing that they do, right? And that's what it kind of feels like to me. It feels like that they found a really cute little area, and they brought a shirt for him to wear, and they brought a hat for him to wear, because he looks very Americana. And I think that's what it is. It's just, that's what it is to me. And yeah, I don't know. So, Mother of Troy, thanks for sharing the live. Garrus, thank you so much for following me. Thank you. Steve, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. Ms. Bella, was that really Kilmar? Listen, I think it is, but you know, like, you know, Alexander, thank you for the follow. I hadn't really thought about that. I really hadn't. Dang. Y'all know I love a good conspiracy. I love it. Was Bukele really a publicist before? Oh, now you know what? I can't remember now. I cannot. Oh, why can't I remember this now? I cannot remember. I'm gonna have to like look this up now. But yeah, I really cannot remember, and I'm mad at myself for not being able to remember that. But that's a great question. But yeah, I see a lot of new people just joining. If you are, thanks so much. My name is Channing. I'm a journalist, former news anchor, and I do these live morning news updates here on TikTok, on my YouTube, on Twitch as well, so you can follow me on all those different platforms, just in case anything ever happens to TikTok, because with the rumors that ByteDance is going to do away with it and everything like that. So, you never know. Especially since, like, there are the rumors that ByteDance is going to be doing away with it. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Let's see, other big news. Oh, and just in case, for anybody who is new here, the way we kind of operate around here is I present to you the news, you tell me what you think, and we just kind of have a conversation about it. We can always disagree. We love having good debates in here and having, differences of opinion, but we just keep it nice, we keep it classy. And those are the rules. That's it. So let's see. We talked about the latest with some of these immigration cases that are happening, especially like with these deportations. We talked about the latest with Florida State University. We can get back to more on that if you all would like. Let's see. The latest with that. So because it's been a while since I talked about that one. So with the latest, if you're not familiar, sadly, there was an attack at Florida State University just yesterday. Police have in custody a 20-year-old who attended, who attended Florida State University, who they believe is the suspect, who sadly ended the lives of 2 people and wounded at least 6 others. I always like to explain this to people because the reason why law enforcement and even the media tend to say at least when talking about injuries or even the number of people who have died is because that number can and often does change. And you don't like to just pigeonhole yourself into like a specific number. CBS News actually is reporting that the suspect's name, Phoenix Eichner, was actually in the middle of a custody battle between his parents. So apparently his birth mother and birth father had been undergoing a custody battle for the last several years, which is kind of interesting considering he's 20 years old. But he was actually living with his father and his stepmother, and it was his stepmother's service weapon that they believe he used in this attack. His stepmother formerly worked for one of the local sheriff's departments there. She was a sheriff's deputy there in the Leon County, and she was using this weapon now as a personal handgun. They don't know whether or not, like, how it was secured, if it was secured or anything like that just yet. But they do believe that that was the weapon that was used in this attack. And it is worth noting that it's a handgun, not any type of semi-automatic, anything like that. So they're just trying to start essentially beginning the process of this investigation to find out more in regards to the motive, exactly what happened, coming up with like a whole timeline, things of that nature. So they're just the beginning phases. Are comments off again? I hope not. I think we're good now. Are there? I hope not. TikTok is weird and TikTok doesn't like me, Lynn. You'll know TikTok doesn't like my comments. They do not like me, I swear. Now, one of the things is too, especially with this one, and I mentioned this earlier, is that one thing is that the suspected shooter, like I mentioned, his name is, I just went blank here for just a second, sorry. Phoenix Eichner, like I said, he's 20 years old. Now, people have started talking to some of like his former classmates, some of his like relatives, distant relatives for the most part. Nobody's really heard from his parents or anything like that, understandably so. But former classmates have started speaking out a little bit more about his personality, and kind of started talking to him more about like who he was, things of that nature, saying that he was kind of quiet, saying things that he was in a combination of regular and special education classes. There are not really many photos of him out in the media just yet. I found really just one as of this morning. And it looks like it's a photo from him maybe in high school. maybe like junior or senior year. He looks relatively young in this photo. But yeah, that's really the only one that I could really, really find of him. And I do like to always kind of explain like the method behind the madness sometimes when it comes to the media. Like, he looks weird. I do like to explain sometimes the method behind the madness. So like with it, the last several years, a lot of media outlets have tried to go away from showing especially a suspect. And especially until they've been charged, for several different reasons. One, because like a lot of media outlets have gotten burned before from law enforcement agencies for saying like, hey, this is our suspect, and then come to find out it's not actually their suspect, that person is never actually charged, that kind of thing. And two, because you don't want to glorify the person who actually did the crime, you tend to want to focus more so on the victims. So it's not that rare that you don't see like that many photos, but it is still kind of weird to me that I've only found one. Typically you would still see more than this, so I do find that rather interesting. It's only, no, that's not true. Actually, the rules, I've been working in this industry a long time. Actually, the rules are a lot harder if the person is melanated. Like, as somebody who made these editorial decisions, if the person is melanated, we come a lot harder. Because typically, especially if there's any melanated person in the newsroom, yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like, if there's any melanated person in the newsroom, like, everybody, like, jumps on board, and it's like, absolutely not. This one, though, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he doesn't have a social media presence. I don't know what it is, because like in this one, like even Fox doesn't have his images, and that's weird. Fox puts everything up. Fox puts mugshots up, and nobody really puts mugshots up anymore. They're one of the few media outlets that still runs with that. Everybody else doesn't put mugshots up anymore. So yeah, I don't know what that is, but so I'm not really sure what the deal is. It could be there are some exceptions, like for like if the suspect is a minor, you won't do it. But that's usually pretty much it. Yeah, that's usually it. And I mean, there are definitely different rules for different media outlets, no question. Like I said, and each media outlet comes up with their own kind of things, but industry standard is kind of that one. Let's see what else. Not Rougarou Lou. I like that name, by the way. Let me see. I see lots of new people. Thanks, guys. Please keep tapping your screen. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all the love, all the likes, all the gifts, all the new follows. I really do appreciate this. Y'all are so fun. Let's see. Because it is Friday, y'all know I always try and do some lighthearted, more fun, funny news. So let me see what else I can find. Oh, thank you for the heart, B. Burgess. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, what else do we have over here today? Let's see. I have... Oh, thank you so much for the confetti. Thank you. Oh, man. Okay, so I have this really interesting one. I'm Biden trying a speech again. Listen. Again, y'all, I swear, y'all suggest stuff to get me kicked off of this app. That's why my comments are always blocked. That's why I stay getting kicked off all the time. Okay, so let me see here. We talked about that. We can do more hard news, or we could do like more soft news. So like I have updates on the Menendez brothers, which I'm always fascinated about, because the Menendez brothers are still trying to get out of jail. Funny and lighthearted. Let's do it. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Let's do some funny and lighthearted. Okay, perfect. Because this is the kind of mood that I am in right now. Because I kind of love this one. This one is like low key one of my favorites right now. So, does anybody remember Fire Festival that tried to happen? Like, if you don't, like, it was a huge cluster of an event that tried to happen. I'm trying to remember, when was the Fire Festival supposed to have actually happened? 2017 was when the original one was supposed to have happened, right? And yes, Maritza was surprised. Okay, so it was supposed to have happened in 2017, and it was promoted as like this huge like festival. It was supposed to take place like in the Bahamas, and it was like an influencer's dream, right? It was supposed to be super nice. Like everybody who was anybody was going to be there. It was supposed to cost like thousands of dollars, all of this kind of thing, right? So it ended up being like this huge catastrophe when people showed up, they were essentially eating like bologna and cheese sandwiches after they had spent like thousands of dollars to get there. They were sleeping in tents. Like it was terrible. Like it was a huge scheme. The person who was like behind the whole thing, the promoter, was his name, Billy McFarland, ended up like going to jail and having to pay like all of these fines, all of this kind of stuff, right? Well, homeboy gets out of jail and is like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try this all over again. I'm gonna come out with Fire Festival 2. And do you know that people actually bought tickets? People were like, you know what? We saw that you messed up the first time, but we're gonna go ahead and trust you to do this again. For whatever reason. I don't know why. I have no idea why. So he tries this again. Hey, happy Friday. Yes. And yes, Maritza, there's a documentary about it. And the documentary is absolutely hilarious and wild and just insane. So yes. And Emma, yes, you remember this. So, so apparently, like they were trying again. They were going to do this again. And back in February, same dude, Billy McFarland was like, back in February, he was like, hey guys, I have secured a festival operators. I've gotten hotel partners. I have all of these things ready. We're going to hold this in Playa del Carmen. It's going to be amazing. This is where we're going to do this, right? He's like, I got this. He holds this big like press conference there in Playa del Carmen in March. And he's like, ticket packages are going to start at like $1,400 for one person, not including accommodations and travel, mind you, just tickets. All the way up to $1.1 million. $1.1 million, right? So now, surprise, surprise, Fire Festival 2 is being postponed. Postponed. Kate, yes, that is the definition. Absolutely, yes. So, yes. So, yes. Oh, thank you for the crown. Thank you for the roses. Thank you so much. So, yes, there were people out here who spent thousands of dollars who, I guess, forgot 2017 was a thing. I don't know. Listen, I understand it was several years ago. Maybe they were young. Maybe they didn't know that this whole thing had happened before. But essentially, like, the Fire Festival 2 is now being postponed indefinitely. They don't have a plan for a new venue because I guess they lost their venue, or they probably just didn't have a venue in the first place. Oh, but here's the real kicker. They were selling tickets. They didn't have any artists lined up. They had a whole music festival planned and were selling tickets. They didn't have any artists. Like none. Like they didn't have a single artist. Like Jill, exactly. There's no surprise. Like they don't have anything. I was like, what are y'all doing? How do you buy tickets to something and you don't know who's performing? Like, I've been to South by Southwest. I've been to Austin City Limits. Like, you buy tickets based on who's performing. I thought that was the thing. Like, why would you... Kate, thank you. Like, why would you do that? Like, you buy tickets to see a certain person perform. Why would you just buy a random ticket to a I don't understand. You know what? Never mind. I just don't understand it. At least, though, this time. So, the company that partnered with to sell the tickets is a company called soldout.com. And they actually gave people a 100% money back guarantee. They told NBC News that they stand firmly behind their 100% money back guarantee. And they said all customers who purchase tickets directly through their platform are eligible for a full refund. And festival organizers told ticket holders on Wednesday that they would issue refunds given the change in location. So I guess that's a good thing. Let's see. They were selling the experience and made it so people would want to just say they were there. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly it. They had people that were just hoping to like say that I went to Fire Festival. This was amazing. They wanted to make it on the second documentary. That's what they were hoping for. I'm like, you can make it on a better documentary than saying that you got scammed. Like, that's not it. It's FOMO. Exactly. I don't know why people like to throw their money away. I have no idea. Well, wait, now since we're talking about throwing our money away, we have to talk about Blue Origin. We have to talk about Blue Origin. Because now I need to know your thoughts. Because I've gone down this rabbit hole, because y'all know me, and I go down these rabbit holes all the time. So, of course, you know, the Blue Origin rocket, or capsule, whatever, went up in space earlier this week, right? We talked about it earlier this week on my live. Some of you might have watched it. They sent up women. Oh, Quincy, thanks for the follow, friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They sent up, 6 women up into space. National media is promoting it like it's some huge girl power type of event, something like that. And the backlash has been catastrophic. Like, people all over the place are like, what the heck is this? Like, the backlash has been instant. And it's been kind of funny to see the backlash. A made-for-TV movie. Like, it's been kind of funny, right? So I want to know, one, what did y'all think? Like, did you feel empowered? Did you feel anything? I didn't feel anything. Like, I didn't feel like it was I didn't feel like it was empowering, but I also didn't feel like, I don't know. Because, like, a lot of people are talking about it's a very elitist move, and, like, how it's the new let them eat cake. Kate, you're coming through with the one-liners this morning, and I'm here for this. It's the new, and that's what a lot of people are saying. So now, here's the thing. So I did, of course, as always, did some digging here, and so Blue Origin actually does not release how much they charge for their seats. They actually don't always charge for their seats. It's a lot of some of it is like a price, and some of it is based on who you are, right? Because some of it is an invite and that kind of thing. So I would imagine, for example, Gayle King was an invite, right? Because obviously the promotion of CBS and Paramount, the company that she works for, would pay for itself, right? Obviously, Lauren Sanchez, who is Jeff Bezos' girlfriend, she obviously didn't pay for that seat either. Let's be real. Like, Jeff Bezos is going to cut himself a check? No. Let's be real here. So, but I do think it's funny, the backlash. But my favorite thing now has been these conspiracy theories about the door. If you have not seen this, just give me a second, because I have a video uploading to YouTube. Why am I looking at my wrist like I got on my watch? I have a video uploading to YouTube, like, right now. It's going to be uploaded at noon Central Time, that talks about this conspiracy theory of the door. Because, so when the capsule lands, right, when it gets back on Earth, there, of course, is like a lag, and all the people there are all excited that it landed and all this kind of thing. And so all of a sudden, yes, Cortland, yes, the door opens from the inside. And so a lot of people are saying that's not the way it's supposed to happen. Like, you're supposed to be able to open the door. So here's what's funny. So the door opens from the inside, and then you see the woman who's with Jeff Bezos, she goes and tries to close the door, like, very quickly. And if you're watching the actual feed from Blue Origin, like, the commentators just kind of talk over it. They act like they're not seeing it or anything. So then, a few minutes later, Jeff Bezos goes and he has, like, this little tool that he's supposed to be using to open the door. And the commentator saying, oh, Jeff Bezos is going and he's going to go and open the door. Jeff Bezos makes this comment because I think he doesn't realize that a mic is there picking him up. And he turns and makes this comment to the woman standing next to him. He says something along the lines of, oh, I guess you didn't close the door well enough, or something like that. Like, and it was so staged. And so now people are like, well, how did they open the door? Was this whole thing staged? And people are even questioning whether or not they even went to space in the first place. People are even saying, like, this was some huge, like, just Hollywood stage production. And I was just like, what? This is amazing. I don't know. I'm fascinated by the whole thing. So then I went to go find other Blue Origin landings, right? Because they have sent several of these capsules up in space and back down. There's tons of them, right? There's several videos. However, I could not find a single video that showed the door opening like that. Not one. And I was like, I saw 3 different videos that showed just like the aftermath, right? Like, just show the person and they were like, doors open and they're out. But I didn't see a single one. So now I'm even like, well, dang, wait. And I know I was watching the live feed. I was on live with y'all watching the live feed. And so I know what I saw was the takeoff. But now I'm like, well, dang. I'm like, dang. Let's see what y'all are saying in the comments though. The real women who studied and earned it are being fired and dismissed from their jobs. Oh yeah, like listen, I essentially call this is a commuter rail, right? This is a commuter rail to space. They're not astronauts. Although one of the women on board did work for NASA. If I'm not mistaken, was an astrophysicist or something like that, but she did work for NASA. But yeah. Cortland, people are struggling and y'all want to go up in space. Blue Origin is getting a new government contract too. Oh. Quincy, let's see. I heard a theory that this was to get regular folks interested in space. Normal astronauts are boring. You know, it's not a bad one. I mean, although I will say this, like, I watch the SpaceX launches all the time. Like, those are pretty fascinating to me. And maybe it's just me, like, maybe I'm just a nerd. Which is facts. But I'm like, those are really cool. Kate, either they landed and had already opened the door once before the photo walk, or they didn't. Yeah. Spaceships are air compressed and you can't open from the inside. Cortland, and exactly, like, listen, I have watched tons of these things land before. And yes, there's always somebody who opens the door. But now the one thing I don't know, because I haven't watched many of these Blue Origin things, because they're not really going into space, right? So they're going, what is it, 62 miles into the air, which is just at the cusp. Like, it's really where like the Earth's atmosphere ends and where like space begins. So yeah, they're going up, but it's not like that high, right? So that's why I'm wondering if is that the difference in like the pressurization? But then, because I'm like, to me, I'm thinking of it almost like as an airplane. But then I'm also thinking, I'm like, do they open the door on an airplane or does somebody else open the door? Because I've also never seen that. So I don't know. I don't really know. And people calling Katy Perry an astronaut was wild. Yeah, so that was also it for me. I'm like, you're not an astronaut. You went to space. You went to space, but you're not an astronaut. You went to space. Like, it's cool. I think it's very cool that you went to space, but I don't think you're an astronaut. Like, just because I rode on a train doesn't make me a conductor. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's just me though. Like, Katy Perry might be a space cadet, but definitely not an astronaut. Like, and I'm just thinking, NASA's not boring. Like, I love all the space stuff. Like, I think it's super cool. But I will fully admit, like, I have always been a nerd. Like, I wanted to go to space camp. Like, I've always found NASA interesting. Like, the stuff SpaceX is doing right now is so freaking fascinating. Like, I think it's super cool. But yes, I think that the theories are wild to me. And like I said, like, a lot of people are now questioning it and wondering, like, one, was this whole thing just some big promotional campaign, you know? One, like, to get people interested in space and space exploration. To, a lot of people are saying, like, maybe it's to normalize space exploration and just sending people into space. I can see that. I've definitely seen the CGI thing. I have seen that. And I'm like, especially like when you think about like who is behind all of this. So of course, like Paramount, again, the people who employ Gayle King and the people behind CBS, they were a huge media conglomerate. I'm like, they specialize in movie making and television making. So I'm like, I can see them doing it. And so is Amazon. So I'm like, I can see it. Argento, also to give legitimacy to Blue Origin, because they've been kind of like, you know, the stepchild when it comes to space exploration and things of that nature. So I could definitely see that. I mean, there's a lot of theories going around, and all of them honestly make sense to me. Because I will be the first to admit, it seemed weird to me when they first started talking about this and talking about, oh, we're sending all these women into space. And I was just like, well, for what? I was like, haven't they been? Like, Blue Origin's been around. Like, I remember when they first launched. And I was like, we've been sending people as tourists into space. I'm like, Richard Branson has his own company, like, that sends people into space. Blue Origin's been sending, like, you know what I mean? So I didn't understand what the whole hype was in the first place. They were like, oh, well, it's all women. And I was like, okay. Like, so I was like, I didn't get it. Like, I was like, so it's a car full of women. To me, I was just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Like, nothing in me was like, this is exciting. I was just like, okay. I was like, it wasn't like we were sending like a team of women astronauts to the International Space Station. That to me, I would have been like, oh, this is so dope. Like, this is really cool. I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, they're not the same. I don't know. Argentina, everyone was saying it's giving Ocean Gate. Yeah. And yeah, it did. It felt like a very manufactured win. It really did. And what's been funniest to me, I think, is like the amount of like celebrities who have come out against it and been like, and like saying that it's tone deaf and like talking about, and essentially saying the same things that we're saying like in the chat and like saying like, you know, people are out here struggling. Like eggs are too expensive for y'all to be paying all this money to go sit on a rocket. You know what I mean? And that's hilarious to me. I'm like, that's the pot calling the kettle black, but I'm here for it. Like, I'm here for that kind of petty always. Oh, wait, you know how they did it? Wait, how did they do it? I need to know. I just need to know. Oh, thank you guys for all the likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Please keep tapping your screen, please. And also, if you're just joining, by the way, my name is Channing. I am a journalist, former news anchor. We do these live chats Monday through Friday, starting around 9 a.m., just talking about the news of the day and just having a little fun conversation. So if you like getting your news like this, please consider giving me a follow, tapping your screen, and if you feel so inclined, you can give a gift or two if you want to. I don't mind gifts. Oh, thank you for the roses. Thank you so much, Tani. Thank you for the like, my friend. And they were on a plane. You know? Listen. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely something weird. It was something weird. You can tell because when the plane dips, they all dip, unlike space. Now you're gonna make me go back and watch this video. Because like I have pulled the video several times, and like I said, in about an hour I will have my video on YouTube and here on TikTok showing like the door situation, and I've been trying to isolate the sound from Jeff Bezos and what he says to the woman next to him, because he says something like either like you didn't close the door or you didn't close the door that well, and I'm trying to isolate that specific sound, so it's taking me a little bit of time. But so yeah, people move individually in space. All right, see, y'all are smarter than me. I don't know this all. Let's see what other news we have before I hop off for the day. You didn't close the door good. I think that might be it. Because yeah, like I've been trying to like every time I hear it, it's very like grainy and it's very faint. And so like that's why I'm trying to like isolate it and emphasize it. Aw, Emma, thank you so much. Thank you for the gift. All right, and let's see if we can end on one more positive note. Let's see what else I got over here. Let's see. Oh, this one's a cute one. Okay, I like this one. It's giving fake photo shoots, right? It is like, even like the stage photo shoots, like all throughout this thing, like, I don't know. This is gonna sound like so mean and petty and like high school girlish, but whatever. Like it to me, like the little like the girl power with the blue suits and like the hey, it felt very like Spice Girls. Like, and not in the good way. Like, and I'm saying that as somebody who like loved the Spice Girls, but that's the way it felt. It felt like they were trying to do like the whole Spice Girls girl power kind of thing, and no, and it was not it for me. It was just not it. I was like, this is not like the flex y'all thought this was gonna be. It just was not. Okay, so I'm going to end today on this super cute story that I actually found this morning. So I don't know if anybody remembers, but this little boy named DJ Daniel, he's been on a mission to set a world record to be sworn in by the most police departments in the world. So this is the same little boy that President Trump actually had at his, it wasn't a State of the Union, it was just a congressional address. But the little boy was there. He's actually from Houston, and he has been on this mission. He really loves law enforcement, right? And he has been on this mission to be sworn in by as many law enforcement agencies as he possibly can. When he was 6 years old, he was given 5 months to live because he was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. He's now 13, and so he has just been on this mission. Like, he wants to be a police officer if he gets the chance to grow up. And so far, he has been doing pretty well. So yesterday in St. Louis, he actually got sworn in by 203 police departments simultaneously. He has been sworn in by police departments, sheriff's departments. He even got sworn in by the Secret Service there at that congressional address. Literally, like, he's been sworn in by departments all over the country, seriously. Where I am, he's been sworn in by the police department in Bossier and Shreveport, in Dallas, and like all over the country, seriously. And it's really cute. So he got sworn in St. Louis and several of the other departments there across the state, all simultaneously. And he broke a world record. And I just think it's super cute because I think he's adorable. And yeah, I know, like, I just think he's super cute. I think he's adorable. He has the cutest little voice and everything like that. And I just think it's sweet that that's just what he wants to do. and so yeah. But like, my favorite thing is like, when he got sworn in, the first thing he said, there's only one thing missing here. When do I go on patrol and when do I get paid? Because facts. He wants to make sure that he gets paid because time is money. I think that's super cute. Like, that's what he wanted. I'm like, 13. I like it. It's super cute. All right, guys, that is all for me on this Friday. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a fun conversation on a Friday. Again, if you are not already, go ahead and hit that follow button. Make sure that you're following me here on TikTok, and make sure that you're also following me on my other platforms as well, on YouTube at The Channing Curtis and on Instagram at Channing Curtis as well. And yeah, have a fantastic weekend. I will be back on live later on tonight, probably with some more news updates. It'll probably be more light, kind of fun, funky news and all that kind of good stuff. But if not, I will see you back here on Monday morning starting at 9 a.m., guys. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Thanks again. Bye.